Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I have another embellishment type idea. I have somewhat of a collection of Nuvo Drops, stickles, glitter glue, and I've been trying to figure out different ways to use them. I wanted to get into like pouring resin and stuff, but I just haven't devoted the time to doing that. So I was like, what's a quicker way to make some embellishments using what I have on hand right now and not having to mix a bunch of colors, a bunch of glitter, etc. So I recently went to Dollar Tree and picked up the heart mold. It's a heart ice cube mold. It looks something like this. Show it very quickly. I do have some Nuvo Drops drying and I don't want them to warp. So I picked that up. I also had this Wilton silicone mold. This is actually for chocolate, but I have no intentions of using it anymore for chocolate. So what I did was I was able to make these like enamel type embellishments. You could use these for wax seals. You can use them as actual embellishments on projects. But these are what I have so far. Again, I do have some drying. And I will say that I tried stickles, I tried glitter glue, and those things don't work as well, at least not in the ice cube molds. They take forever to dry, and if it's too thick, it never dries. I waited 24 hours to see what my outcomes would be, and by 24 hours, the molds that had the glitter glue or stickles was still wet. So Nuvo Drops are the way to go. Even I have some of the Ranger ink, and this one is Ranger ink, so that worked as well. I guess some pros or like just some tips is when you're making these, you don't want to fill them where they are too shallow. I didn't put enough Nuvo Drops in here, and you can see it broke when I took it out, and then there's a lot of like separation space. So you have to find the perfect amount of product to put in there. If you're like me, you have all these colors and you don't mind using up your Nuvo drops for this, then you should be good to go. But for some, especially when using the ice cube molds, you do have to put a thicker amount because you don't want the design to mess up when you push it out. Also, I did notice that sometimes the Nuvo Drops, they bubble. So if you notice it and you can catch it in time, you can just go back in and add a little bit more. But yeah, so this is for me like moving the mold around. You just have to be careful. But all of these are made with Nuvo in this one. I actually like this mold. It was less than 24 hours dry time because I think the molds are thinner. So you just fill it to the top for the most part and you're good to go. And they were dried. Again, I did have some like spreading out where I didn't have enough. If you look at the back of this, you can tell I didn't put enough Nuvo Drops in here because there's like that dip in the design. But this one is one of my favorites. You can mix up the colors and do layering in here. And there's this one. And I have this pink one. This is just pink glitter Nuvo Drops. And all of these made little buttons. So definitely a better outcome with this type of mold than with the ice cube mold. Some were hit or miss, and I was playing with different products, so I still am. So we'll see what happens. I've tried using like silicone glue, but when you put too much of that, it just becomes a big ball of glue that hasn't solidified, if that makes sense. So that wasn't good, but I was trying to like add sequins and glitter to that to see if I could change the color of that. But yeah, that's all that I have. I think if you put too little in the mold, your design will crack when you try to take it out. If you put too much, your dry time will increase, or it just never will dry. Even with the Nuvo Drops, if you put a big, huge glob, it's going to crack and it may never dry. So you have to play with it and put, you know, to figure out what the right amount is depending on what you're working with. But with this type of mold, just fill it to the top, you're good to go. Again, you put too little, you have spacing and cracking. But this is an easy fix. You put too much, you'll just have a little run off, and you can easily clip this with your scissors. That's all that I have. Thank you for watching and have a good day.